all you space engineers out there, Commander Kingfish here, and I am back in Space Engineers 2. We're doing the alpha playthrough. Right now we're at 12% colonization. We finished up some contracts here in the Kemik system the last episode, which was, I believe we did the hydro mine, and we did the renegade outlaws or the renegade pirates facility and took that out. Today we have an active contract, which is communications. So we're going to hop in the old sledge here. And first off, let's look at our cargo container. We've got that filled. I put 2 more cargo containers on here. So we actually got 3 empty cargo containers. Plus we have the connector. So we can really load this thing up if we need to. So I put one there, and on the other side. And that's just to make sure that we continue to gather supplies as we're going through. So let's go ahead and get started out to this active contract and see what we have to get done out there. And so let's, we're in. Let's go to our control panel. Let's turn our thrusters on. Turn our lights on. We should be ready to go. It looks like we've got 92% battery and 98% hydrogen. So we should be able to get some more ice as we hit out on this active contract. So let's go ahead and unpark this thing and lift off. And let's set our sights for the active contract. I was reading today, this is January 22nd. I was reading the dev diary, and it looks like they are working on more stuff and trying to get ready for Vertical Slice 2.2. Now, I have read that they are looking to try to get that in the first quarter or maybe the second quarter of this year. I'm assuming that means it's going to be probably more towards the end of March into April that they might have Vertical Slice 2 ready to go, or 2.2. And what did I see? There was something, I'd have to go back and look, but he also mentioned something about Vertical Slice 2.3. So they're not only looking at 2.2, they're looking at 2.3 as well. So hopefully that is going to come rolling out here soon. We're going to get another update, hopefully. And that we're going to get some more opportunities. I think at that point, I will end up starting a whole new series on that once Vertical Slice 2.2 is rolled out. Which means I don't know if we'll have to start through the whole contract systems again, but we'll see just exactly what it has installed for us. So let's start slowing this buggy down. And there we go. We've got the communication station that just popped up. And let's kind of keep it going a little bit here. So I have found this pretty interesting. Right now I'm hoping they're going to start doing some optimizing. Of course, this is just alpha, so it's kind of running off of my CPU, which is running at a kind of a higher rate. It's using more CPU, I think, than it is GPU, and I would rather see it kind of switch over to that. I've got an i9, and so it tends to run hot, so I'd keep a close eye on it. But it's supposed to run hot, so right now it hasn't done any damage or anything, but it does use some computer processing power. Alright, let's get this thing slowed down. Let's see what we got up here. Where is this? Looks like we're in the shadow. And it should be able to start picking it up. Where, oh, it must be over here around the corner, maybe. I'm guessing. And I see a radio tower. Yeah, there it is. All right, where do we got to land here? Where is our landing pad? Oh, there it is. I see it. All right, let's get orientated here. Let's get over here. And let's kind of get turned around. Okay, down we go. All right. All right. Never easy landing these things. I could go outside the cab and do it. That probably would be easier. Level this out a little bit. And I think we are down. Let's back it up a little bit. Level it out. Let's see if we can get our connecting. There we go. Hit P. And let's turn our thrusters off and our lights off just to kind of conserve. I don't know if it makes any difference, but at least wise for me, it's part of the gameplay. Alright, so we've got to finish construction of the control seat for the station. Oop. Let's turn my jetpacks on. That's not good. Alright, so let's go see what we need. Let's start looking. Let's see what we got for supplies. Nothing in here. Alright. And let's open this door. Open this door. Anything in the lockers? Ice. Well, we're going to need that. We'll need to remember to grab that. I'm sure we're going to need these and these. And looks like we have an assembler and smelter. So if we have to make parts, we can. But we also have a lot of parts on the ship as well. So what do we need? We need steel plates, electronic parts, wire. So we've got the wire. Let's see if there's anything else that we can grab. Electronic parts. And we don't need that battery. We'll leave it. Here's another. Oh, here we go. We're getting heavy duty plates, but we need steel plates. But we will take all of that wire and electronics. I looked in that. What do we got here? I don't need that. Got another one down here. That's empty. Oh, I must have already grabbed that. All right. Well, let's head back to the ship. I know we can get some steel plates there, or we could just do some mining. What do we got down here? Anything down here? Nope. More batteries. And that's what I had coming in. Let's just come over here and grab some steel plates, because I know I've got a few of those. Let's
Inventory full.
I didn't mean to grab that many, but let's go ahead and see what we can get done on this with those steel plates. All right. And we got the steel plates, we got the wire, we got the electronic parts, and we've got this done. All right. So it was the steel plates that we need. All right. Next, We've got a battery relay, a solar panel relay, and another battery relay that we've got to repair, which I think is going to be out here. All right, we've got one over there and one over there. Let's see something here. So we need solar panel. What do we need for solar panels? Let's go to our power, energy, and solar panels take glass, electronic parts, and steel plates. So we got the steel plates. Well, let's go and see what we've got over there. If we have to, we can fly back. I'm pretty sure I got some glass on the ship. Okay. I'm assuming there's going to be some stuff to grab over here. All right, of course not. All right, well, we needed the heavy-duty plates. We've got 8 of those. We need a motherboard and more wire. We got 2 of the wire. All right, let's get back over here. And that was a motherboard and heavy-duty plates. A motherboard. We might as well grab both of those. And a few more heavy-duty plates.
Inventory full.
Okay. And glass. I know we were going to need glass. Do I have glass? I do have glass. Well, let's go and see if we can't get that wired up, get some of our inventory emptied out. So I've been enjoying the game itself. It's not a lot of depth to it currently. And shoot. Let's see. So we got rid of the heavy duty plate, the lead. Oh, we need a lead bar. Okay. And more wire. We have a lead bar. I mean, there's not a lot of depth to it. You're just coming out and kind of working on these facilities. I wanted to get through all of the contracts, and then depending on what is still available or what they have released, 1 lead bar. Looks like we might have to do some mining. And so let's I think there was, and some more wire. Yeah. Let's see if that was enough. So once I get done, we're going to have to kind of see what I want to start doing once we get all of the contracts done. We've got this system to finish up. And all right, that one's done. Okay, what do we got up here? All right, come on, find your connection. Oh boy, we need a lot of glass. And I've got steel plates, electronic parts, wire, and glass. Okay. So, might want to give a shot of trying to build a base down on Kemik. We'll see. I just don't know what I want to do at this point. Once we finish this up, let's get the wire and more glass.
Inventory full.
Of course, inventory's full. Let's take these heavy plates out and see if we can't grab a little bit more glass. All right. So we'll see. We'll see what we get going here. But we got to get these contracts done first, so that we can get on to ready for the next. I guess I'm done with the battery, right? All right. So, oh dang it, electronic parts. I wished it would load up inventory out of the system because I'm 100% full and I still have to go back. So looks like I need electronic parts. Again, if I was just mining ore, I could mine the ore and then just do it the easy way. But, you know, I'm trying to do things that are not quite as easy, I should say, or at least wise more in my line of thinking. That's construction. And of course I might have to, oh, there's electronic parts. Let's take out, well, we can take out this mother plate and we can take this lead bar out. So then we should be able to grab some electronic parts.
Inventory full.
I thought that's what I needed. All right, well, let's see. Me and my feeble mind. So hopefully we can get this built. Thought I grabbed electronic parts. Didn't I grab electronic parts? In my inventory. Electronic parts. Steel wire. What's missing? I've got steel plates. Oh, there it goes. See, that's the thing. It's just not... The other thing they got to get fixed on this is the wire, or is the connection. It just doesn't weld. I mean, you're right here, and it looks like you've got connected, but then it's not welding. All right, so now we've got one more over here on the other side. And again, we're going to have to go through the same process. Oh, I know what I need. I do know I need that lead. So we've got to do the battery. And so let's grab that chunk of lead that I put in. I thought, there we go. And the motherboard, I knew I needed that. Probably, I think I needed heavy plates. And I think the wire. Let's see if we can get something built the first time over. All right. Of course, they're not giving us any supplies. Get in here. All right, we got the battery done first time. Nice. Okay. Now, let's see what we got up here on the solar panels. There we go. Hey, we got enough to get that done, so we're going to call that good. All right, there's something interfering with the communications. Check the communications tower, and if there's any unknown antennas, remove those. Someone may be eavesdropping on our communications. All right, so where are we off to now? Back down over here. All right, so we got those all built up. And let's see what we got here. Communications tower. Well, that looks like the good one, since that's where the communications is. So it looks like we've got to take out this one and that one. All right, well, let's get our grinder out. We should be able to do that. Unknown antenna. All right, that makes it pretty easy. There's one, and then I think we got to take this one out. Another unknown antenna. There we go. Contract finished. We might as well grab this. And we grab these out of here. Just to get a little more steel. We got to grab that ice. We don't want to forget that. All right, I think that was that. All right. Since the contract's complete, we should salvage some of this stuff, but I'm not going to. Let's go ahead and put this stuff all back in. We're going to go over there and grab that ice that we saw. We're going to need it. I think that was in here. Yep. I think that was the only ice I saw. All right. And then we're going to go back and grab another contract. Go ahead and throw that in. That's going to get used up. We should have plenty of hydrogen though, so. All right, in we go. Let's turn things back on. Thrusters, power on. Lights, power on. Undo park. And I'm not going to mark this place. I think it might be close enough if we need to find it again, that we're close enough to the hydro mine or the outlaw entrance that we kind of go by. So if we really need to find it, I'm not too worried about trying to mark all of these places. I think you just, that's the other thing I'm looking forward to version 2.2 is we're supposed to be getting a good GPS system, which means we should be able to put our GPS markers down and then hide them when we're not needing them. So like all of that stuff that I marked when we first got started with the contracts, that still shows up on the screen. And so right now your screen can really end up getting cluttered. So, all right. Hopefully we don't have too many more contracts left to go. It'd be nice to get this done today. At least the Kemik system. There's one more system, and then we'll get this finished up. Then we can decide on if we want to start doing base building, which we might. I might go down to Kemik and see what that's like. I've done some stuff on the other planet, and it has its own challenges that need to be kind of worked out, where you get down there and you start floating down there. And I think it has to do with where I was kind of building was down towards the water area, and I think that's where water's going to end up. And so I don't know if that was just buoyancy that they had put in there that they've got to work out. But again, this is just alpha, so there's a lot of bugs that still need to be worked out, and I'm not judging it on that kind of stuff. So I know that they're going to be working on that. So the little things like that. And I've gone over to the area where you report bugs and see what the vote ups are and stuff like that on what needs to be fixed. Bugs are going to get fixed. It's just which bugs the players want fixed first. So, okay, let's cruise back on in here. And see if we can get landed without crashing into it. Although it doesn't hurt. It's a safe zone, so it doesn't hurt anything in there. But it just feels wrong to come flying in and crash in and not have any damage. The other thing that I don't know if I mentioned before, but I believe as long as you're going under 72 kilometers per hour. If you bump into something, you're not going to do any damage to your ship. So that's kind of good. That way you can kind of get used to flying. Let's see, let's get this thing leveled out here. All right, let's come on. Let's get this right down here. All right, let's get leveled out. All right, let's look from the outside. Down we go. All right, should get us attached. And we got P to connect. All right, let's go through our ritual here. Power off, lights off. All right. And out we go. All right. Let's get this contract turned in. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's complete that. All right, contract completed. Colonization progress achieved. We should have unlocked some more stuff. New blocks, gyroscope, atmospheric thrusters, space movement tier 3. So the third level of all of those blocks. So we've got those unlocked now, which is, so like if we go down to movement, so like our atmospheric thrusters, we've got the tier level 3, and the gyroscope, we've got the tier level 3 unlocked on that. So, and I thought there was something else. All right, let's get our next contract. Let's see what else we have to do here. Are we done on this sector? Let's see. Current sectors. Oh, sector is 100%. Okay. Well, you know what that means? That means we move on to our next sector today. All right, that's cool. Let's get over there, and we are going to hop in, and we need to fast travel. So let's turn everything back on. Our control panel, let's turn our thrusters on. There we go. Let's unlock. Let's get up a little bit. All right, so if we bring up our map, and so we need to go to the Oblivion. It's Oblivion to me. That's what I'm going to call it. So we want to fast travel over to there. And here we go. All right, new discovery. You found the Oblivion section. All right, let's get this thing landed. And then we can... Oop. Down, not V. I don't know how many contracts are available here. All right, so let's park this thing and turn things off. Power off. Lights off. All right, let's go see what we got in here. And I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like it's running a little smoother here. So it's just the various stations. Some seem to be a little more power hungry than others. So let's see what we got. Engineering sector foundations. The sector's colonization requires a supply base, manufacturing site, and a mining site. We started working on these but had to divert our manpower to help with a ship accident. We need you to set up antennas and power systems to these sites so they don't become another failed attempt to colonize this sector. All right, well, since it's the only one that's available, let's accept it. All right. So how far away is it? 39 kilometers. That's not too bad. Let's get rolling. See what we got to do over there. Okay. Again, let's turn everything on. Power on. Lights on. And let's get ready for liftoff. And let's find our contract. Active contract. Okay, there it is. All right. Let's crank this thing up. I know it seems like, you know, the fast travel. So it's going to take maybe some stuff away from that we had to do in Space Engineers 1, where getting up to the jump drive, but I never really got to the jump drive. It was always way beyond, you know, getting built up for me. So I'm kind of okay with the fast travel. Plus, we're going to have a much larger section. There was, unless you know, in SE1 for me, to get to some of those other planets, I had to basically start a new game and just launch on those planets as opposed to traveling between them. And it just was something that I didn't necessarily want to do. I'm not the best shipbuilder in the world, so those things kind of contributed to me not maybe utilizing SE1 to its fullest extent. But here, with the fast travel, as you discover these areas, getting things done, it gives you the ability to get to these other sectors and maybe build your gameplay in around it. The other thing too is it's going to be interesting to see, they're going to try to make it a little more alive system, because that's one of the things in SC1 where you had Saberoids and you had wolves, and that was about it. You had the space pirates, and so it didn't necessarily seem alive to me, especially when you got down on the planets. So I'm hoping there's going to be more things to find, more exploration that is going to allow us to kind of maybe feel more immersive into the game itself, besides just base building. Don't get me wrong, I love base building. That's one of the things, that's what most of my videos have been on in Space Engineers, has been base building. So, but it will be nice to kind of try to incorporate a bit more into it. All right, we need to build a mining and manufacturing facility. So I'm guessing we are going to have to do some mining for ores, because it sounds like we're probably going to have to build quite a few parts. All right, let's get zeroed in here. And are we on the right side? Let's find this place. Oh, I see a ship, the Bullfrog. What do we got here? Maybe it is on the other side over here? Must be. We'll go outside. It might make it a little easier to find this place. Ah, there it is. All right, let's get turned around here. All right, objective completed. We found the place. Construct a marked battery and antenna for the supply base. All right, we can do that. The other thing too is I'm hoping that when we get in, that we'll have our altitude and stuff like that. That will make it a little bit easier for flying and landing. There we go. All right. Let's turn things off. Lights powered off. And let's hop out of here. Okay, we've got to build an antenna, which we should have. Did I unload all my parts? Of course I did. Well, let's see what we need. What do we need here? Antenna. So I need steel plates. Oh, it's already got the steel plates and tubes. So I need the radio comm module and gold thread and steel plates. All right, let's see what we got here. Radio comm. Well, I got the gold thread. I was surprised. I thought I would have compressor, lead, chemical. I guess I don't. All right, let's grab the gold thread anyway. And I guess we're going to have to do some mining. All right, let's get up here and see if we've got any. I wonder if they've got some supplies in these sheds here. Oh, great. Cargo. Oh, all right, beautiful. Radio comms. There we go. Let's grab as much of this stuff as we can. There we go. That should get us the antenna. Should be everything that we needed. Come on, build on this thing. Okay, that's done. All right, where's our battery? Our battery is down here. Motherboard wire. Okay, we got that done. All right. The reactor on the manufacturing site was left unfinished. Use the supplies in the shuttle to construct it and look for uranium around the manufacturing site to power the reactor. All right, we can do that. Which I'm guessing, then we've got the sledge here. Why is this highlighted? Let's go off and back out. I don't know. See, another little bug, I think. All right, so if we hop into here, we should have supplies. Let's see what we got. We've got supplies in these cargo containers. And here, oh, we actually even got a welder, a Mark II. And shoot, let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and equip that Mark II right now. Which means we need to go into G, character gear, find our Mark II welder, and drop that down right here. There we go. Well, let's grab the bullfrog. And let's hop inside. Oh, come on. Let's hit the right buttons. Let's double check, make sure everything is on. Everything does look to be on. Okay, so we need to fly over there. Our sledge, we'll be able to find our sledge, so that's not a problem. So let's undo this. And let's fly the bullfrog. And let's see if we can't get this manufacturing site up and running. Okay, so that's only 5 kilometers away. I'm guessing everything is going to be right here within the same section, or pretty close within the same 5 kilometers. All right, so we have to, let's see, the reactor. We got to finish the reactor, and then we've got to find uranium for it. So I'm wondering, does that mean if they've separated these apart, if the idea is the power on here, some sort of Tesla type thing? I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see how will you get power from here back over to the other station that we just left. Questions, lots of questions. Almost there. And okay, let's cruise on in. And the asteroids are, I don't know if they're quite as clustered as they were in SE1. If you kind of look around, you'll see them there. But in my other playthroughs or that I've been doing on this, it hasn't been too bad trying to find the resources. I know some people have struggled, but if you're kind of look and you add a ore detector and stuff to your ship and utilize it, I was able to pretty much find all the materials that I needed. The uranium, I had to kind of hunt for it. It took a bit to find it, but I did find it. There we go. That's a little easier. All right, let's settle down. All right, back in. Let's park this thing. We're not going to worry about turning this thing on and off because I think it's going to get left. And I think I've already made a blueprint of the bullfrog, so I'm not going to worry about that. Let's hop out of here. Let's grab as many of these supplies as we can. Well, that's going to be...
Inventory full.
Oh, of course. All right, so we still got steel plates and heavy duty plates. All right, let's find this reactor. And that's this thing right here. All right, we are going to... All right, missing components. Reactor cores? Didn't I grab those? Thought I grabbed those things. All right. Yeah, I really did a good job of parking this thing, didn't I? Reactor cores.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Let's take these out and let's grab
Inventory full.
these. And we're probably going to have to... Well, that was enough. Okay, we got one more reactor core. And then I've got the motherboard. We'll grab more heavy plates. So reactor core and heavy plates. Make sure we have enough. All right, reactor core and those heavy plates. Let's go ahead and grab these if we can. Oh, that was out of the cockpit. Okay. All right. All right, let's see if we've got enough stuff. That should bring things online. Well, online once... Okay. So now we need to... Let's see, what else did we have to do? Oh, and look for uranium. So we've got to find uranium around the facility here. Let's see if there is some... See if it's right here in the box, maybe. No, but we will grab those parts. Actually, what we're going to do is... I think we'll probably have to mine it. Oh, that crate's full. Of course it's full. All right, let's go back to the ship and unload our stuff. Would have been nice to have brought the sledge over here, but oh well. Do that. We'll actually be able to fill this thing up. Put that in there like that. There we go. All right, let's get our drill out. And let's go find some uranium, which appears to be back over here. Okay. I don't know how much of this stuff we need, but we'll mine a bit of it. Might as well get a suit full. And then we'll take that back and put it into sledge as well. Boy, we're not getting much at all. I don't think it's going to take too much. But we will mine this stuff. What I've found is that it seems like uranium is kind of one of those commodities that might not be too easy to come by out here. Okay. All right, that's probably good. All right, let's find our way back out of here. Find our way back out. Where are we at here? Come on, where is our hole to get out of? There it is. Okay. Now, just a word of advice that I learned. Let's go over here real quick. Let's see if we got it. What is this? Oh, this is, let's see. So if you go over to production, and we look into here, you'll see a enriched uranium rods type thing. Well, that is not what you need to put into the reactor. I kept trying to put that in and I couldn't get it to go in. If we do this, you can. It just takes straight uranium. Where'd it go? Where'd my uranium go? Oh, it dropped it. Okay. Let's try this again. I thought Alt. Okay, because I want to split it. Let's go, let's go half, confirm. Okay. Now what do we got to do? Construct the marked battery and antenna for the mining site. Okay. Oop. The right button here. Let's see if Okay, so that's got the gyroscope working again. All right, where is... Oh, it's off over there. Let's do something here. I want to throw this in. We want to grab those other parts. Grab the uranium, put that in. Might as well stock up on parts. We might need them for something else. Let's see. What do we have here? Compressors, those are good parts. So, oh, ice is good too. We're going to need that for our other ship. More ice, that's good. And I think there was a cargo container. Let's see, where was that? Right here. And we want to grab all of this stuff. I think that was about it. I'm not going to get too worried about grinding stuff down. You could grind this stuff down or take some of this stuff, but we're not going to worry about that. All right, so we have to go over there now. So maybe we can do a little better job of parking the bullfrog. All right, let's unpark this thing. Well, this kind of gives you an idea too of something that you could consider. You know, you're here, you build a little ship like the bullfrog. It's just something that you can cruise back and forth on, and a little hauler, transporter type ship. You know, you have different bases set up out here. So let's see. We can see where our supply base is, and I saw where the sledge is, so we'll be able to get back to our ship. We got to finish this up right here, and if I remember, serves me correctly, I think this is the last thing we had to do on this contract. All right. And let's see, we're almost there. Is this right here? Here's our landing spot. Let's see if we can park this thing level. Forward a little bit. And let's come down. I think that looks a little better. Park it, and let's hop out. And let's go to our... no atmosphere here. Okay. Yeah, a little better parking job. Okay, all right. Where's our antenna? Is up here, and our battery is over here. Where is our battery at? Oh, it must be inside. Let's do this. Let's see what we need. All right, so we are missing radio comms, gold thread, and steel plates. Let's see what we got right down here. Well, there's some steel plates anyway. And anything in here? Permanent magnet. I don't know what that's going to do for us. That's empty. And chrome painting. Jet fuel. Oh, my pack's full. You can only put it in down there. Let's see. Where else do we got? This it for the mining facility? What's back here? Anything? There's the battery. And fine, let's do the battery. That's silicon. Let's see if we got parts on here to build the battery. Motherboard, wire, and heavy duty plates. What do we need for... Oh, we can't... Oh, fine. So we can't build the motherboard. We need copper. All right. You know what? Let's do it like we've been doing it with the components. So let's go get the motherboard, wire, and heavy plates. Motherboard, wire, and heavy plates. All right. We can put motherboard. There we go. Wire. And heavy plates. Hopefully, I don't know if that was enough wire. We might have to actually mine some copper. All right, that's got that built. All right, back to our antenna. Let's get out of here. Oh, there was a hidden box. I guess another power module. All right. Back up to the antenna. Let's see if we got the... Hopefully we got enough parts to build this thing. Oh, the radio comms. Do I have radio comms? Might have to manufacture those. I do have radio comms.
Inventory full.
Full. All right, what else do we need? Did we need? Come on. And so we need the gold thread and steel plates. I should have down here. Gold thread and steel plates. Hopefully we have everything now. Come on. See, there, it's just so tricky. There we go. Completed. All right. The antenna is picking up a faint signal inside the nearby asteroid. All right. Go investigate it. Probably could have hopped in the bullfrog and did this, but let's see what we got over here. Please investigate the signal source. And let's see what we got. Maybe something inside the asteroid? Oh, yeah. It's It's not gonna make it easy, is it? All right, how do we get to it? Oh, maybe in through here? Yeah, here we go. Okay. We've got a building here. All right. That opens it up. And objective complete. Seems like whoever set up the base was excavating the asteroid and left in a hurry. Please retrieve the small shuttle back to the supply base for study. Salvage parts from the Bullfrog cargo shuttle if necessary. Great. Means we've got to build this thing and we've got to take it back. So I'm probably going to need the damn Bullfrog. All right, so let's see. We need to take this out of here. And let's go get the Bullfrog because we're going to need to put parts and stuff in it. And probably should have brought the Bullfrog to begin with. So this should prove to be interesting. I think we've got to get that ship back. And over where Sledge is. So we'll see. Might take some engineering. Okay, we're getting close. Get the Bullfrog. And let's see if we can't retrieve that other ship. See, there's going to be some... I don't know if we can do it with the Bullfrog. We might. But I don't think so. So what we might have to do is get that ship repaired, take it over, and then come back with Sledge, and that's where we got to return this. That's where Sledge is, and grab our parts and stuff out of here. Well, we'll see how much, if there's any cargo space on it that we can grab our cargo that we've gathered up. But you can see there's a lot of places to salvage from, stuff like that. All of those unknown signals that you see. All right. Is it in through here? Is this the way we came in? I think, maybe. Up here. Now, the other thing that you could try to do, we're not going to mess with that today. If you had the Sledge over here, or even on this ship, you could try to build maybe a landing gear on this thing, and then try to attach it and pull it over. We're not going to do that. I think what their intention was for us to build this or repair that ship and then fly it over. So let's hop out of here, and I need to see what We need to... Okay, we're here. I'm probably going to have to take those out, so let's put parts into here. Let's unload this stuff. And see what we can come up with. Our ice. Oh, see, that's the other thing. Once you fill up like this cargo container that you've got access through, it doesn't seem to be able to lock on to this to be able to put our stuff in there. You kind of just got to drag it over. So we'll load this up as much as possible so that we can start grinding down. Those walls, and then let's go see what we need to fix this. This interior wall out of the way. Take this one out. And let's get this little block out of the way. And we'll take this out of the... see, this is where I really get frustrated. Can't seem to find the grind spot. Oh, it's broken loose. That's even a greater problem. I didn't realize we broke it loose. You can't seem to get a spot that you can grind these things out of the way. Alright, that one's out of there. I don't know if we can get this one or not. Yeah, they really got to do something about that. This is just kind of horrible. All right, there we go. I think that's enough room there. Let's go ahead and grind this out of the way. All right, what do we need? Let's see what we need to fix this thing up. The cockpit. We need glass, electronic parts, and motor. Let's see if we've got that stuff. Probably the electronic parts, but I don't see much of anything else. Do we have any glass and stuff in here? Oh yeah, right here. There's some glass. And then that should be enough on the glass. Electronic parts we had. Let's see if we can kind of get this ground. Oh, come on. All right. Electronic parts and the motor. I don't know if we have any motors. I have them over in the sledge. So what they want us to do is grind this down. We do have the electronic parts. Let's see if there's something in here that we can get motors from. I think doors have motors. They got 4 motors. Okay. I didn't remember how many motors, but we've got a couple of more doors here. Oh, and I see a box over here. Ion accelerator. I don't know. Maybe we might need that. Okay, let's see what else. All right. That's got that fixed. And that is connected up to there. All right. Is this flyable? Gyroscope. Looks like everything is in order. I think that might have been the only thing that needed to be fixed. That landing gear is part of the building. So let's see if we've got where we can get control of that. And here, landing gear. Let's unlock that. Okay. Hop in. All right. Power on. Control panel. Power on. Okay. Batteries on. All right. Power on. Power off. Let's see. We don't. How much power is in? Oh, max input, current input. Oh, let's do this. I think it needs a. Yeah, it needs a chart. Do I have one on me? No, but I think I have one on the ship. I think I grabbed one, I think. I hope I did. Right here, 100%. Let's grab that. And there we go. There we go. We got power. All right. Now, if we look at our control, everything's green. All right. We should be able to fly this thing. This we need to take back. All right. Got the bullfrog right there. We should be able to come back and find it. So we'll swing back over on this way on our way out. I think this will give us, I think this finishes the contract. All right. And so we can come back over here, grab the supplies and stuff that we've been gathering. Okay. Well, this is a bit more interesting than some of the other stuff that we've been doing. At least wise, there's a few more things that for us to do here, or at least wise on the contract that they're having us do. And I'm hoping that as we progress out, the contracts are going to get more in depth like this, and that it'll make it a bit more challenging. Like I said, the other thing that we could have done was if we had had the sledge over there, we could have tried to put, say, a landing gear on that. But I know that that does create a bit of a problem when you start trying to connect ships up. So, hopefully, I should have looked to see if there was cargo space on here. I could have probably loaded this thing up with cargo, but we'll just fly back over there on our way back to turning the contract in. And then once we get this finished, this contract, that's probably going to wrap up this episode. So, all right. Let's not crash it. That would not be a good thing. I think we just got to get this in here somewhere, landed over here. Okay. Return the ship right to that spot. Okay, contract finished. Yeah, we can set this thing down right here. And there's really not much to it. We're just going to kind of set it down. Oh. Somewhere down here. Yeah, there's no park or anything like that. I guess what we can do is just go into the control panel and turn the power off on all of this stuff. And it's here, so we got to go back to the contract. All right, so let's go grab the sledge. I don't think there was any. The only cargo capacity that was on this thing was just the cockpit. So, was there anything else here? I think we grabbed everything, didn't we? Yeah. All right, so let's go grab the sledge. Oh, I don't think I saw this one. Let's grab the stuff out of here.
Inventory full.
Yeah, we'll grab this stuff, and then we'll grab the sledge. Go back over to that other little ship. Bullfrog. Grab all of our supplies and stuff out of it, and then head back to the contract. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if we do decide to build a base, all of this stuff that we're collecting is going to help us out a lot. All right, hop into here. Let's turn our thrusters on and our lights on and unpark this thing. And let's go back over to the Bullfrog. And then we'll head back, turn this contract in, and certainly this will be a little bit longer video than normal because I didn't have any stuff that I was cutting out on this. Everything we've been talking and kind of going along on it. So, and we could have easily left the Bullfrog and not come over here, but if you haven't figured it out, if you've watched my Fallout videos and stuff, I like to loot. I like to take all the supplies. You never know what you're going to need. Come on, so let's slow this thing down. And let's see, where was it that we had to get into there? Oh, right up here, I believe. Right in through here. All right. We can fly this in. This way you can kind of see that you Could have brought the sledge over here and tried to capture that ship. But this was just as easy. Okay. Let's hop out here. And grab that, that. Grab all of that ice.
Inventory full.
Oh. Okay. Throw all of this into there. And that ice is going to get used up. Because I have a feeling we might need some of this stuff in our next contract. I can't remember exactly the next contract, but I believe it might be the last one. And let's see, I don't think there was anything left in here, was there? Did I get into this box here? Grab that. Grind this down. Might as well grab a few more components. Let's grab this glass. Might as well fill up our inventory here with stuff that would be very useful. Let's grab this because it's got motors. Not going to grab the steel or anything. Those got heavy plates. I'm not going to worry about those, but this has got motors in it. This is good. And actually, grab this battery as much as.
Inventory full.
All right, because that's got that lead in there, which is going to be kind of a useful thing. And you can salvage as much of this stuff as you want. Oh, that cargo container is full. All right. Well, just like we did with the others, we have to pull this over. We're just going to finish that door, I think. Or that battery. And then we're just going to leave the rest of this stuff. Which is a shame. Where did that battery go? That's up here. All right. Let's go get this contract turned in. Nothing in there. That. Oh, open the inventory. Unknown base. I guess there's nothing in that. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can fly this thing out of here now. And let's get turned around. There we go. All right. Let's get out of here. Okay. All right, well, we're getting close to getting this all wrapped up today. Again, throw some comments down there. Tell me what you think of SE2. Again, it's in alpha, so don't, give it some time. The developers have been very open about what they're doing on it, and don't expect this to be exactly like SE1. I don't think that's the plan. I think the idea is that it's going to be a bit different type of game. So, if you're just expecting a modernized SE1, then you're probably going to be disappointed. So I think there's still going to be base building. There's still going to be a lot of stuff that you can do. I think some of it, we'll see how it turns out. With the backpack building, that does tend to be a little bit easier because all you got to do is mine ores, and there's a lot of stuff. But I'm hoping that they're going to rebalance that, and very certain materials that you can build just to kind of get things started. It does take out the tedium of having to mine stone and then build ingots and stuff like that. I always just I didn't care for that portion of SE1 of having to mine all that stone just to get started. And then the other thing in SE1, once you got stone and you got your production set up on stone, then you could mine stone and get just about all the materials that you needed, with the exception of a few of, but your iron, silicon, and nickel, you could get all of that out of stone and pretty much not have to worry about doing much mining. So, it's got pros and cons both ways. So again, leave some comments, let me know what you think. I'm just playing this through just to kind of give you a feel for what this is all about, and hopefully it's giving you some ideas. If you're kind of concerned about it being a alpha, then wait. There's no reason that you need to jump right in there and buy it now. I don't mind doing this. I am a grinder, so I'm good with just kind of doing this kind of stuff, and kind of grinding away, following what I'm being told to do. I don't mind doing that. And then when we get, again, once I finish this up and maybe we start trying to build a base down at Kemik, we'll see how that all turns out. I know when Vertical Slice 3.0 comes out, you're going to have to start over on everything anyway. And maybe when that comes out, then that moves it over into beta. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, we're almost back to the contract terminal here. All right, let's see if we can get this thing landed. Cruising in, cruising in. Let's let our speed kind of bleed off. We might end up actually crashing in here. We're going to slow down enough. Did I adjust it properly? I don't think so. Dang. Oh, goodness. All right. Well, so much for trying to land in here without crashing. All right. Well, I was just trying to get back. Let's get this thing over here and parked. Down we go. Level it off. And let's park this. Our usual routine. Thrusters off. Lights off. Look at this turned in. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's sector progress rewards 50%. So there's probably only one more mission to do, and we'll do that in the next episode. Let's complete this. All right, colonization achieved, progress achieved. What's next? Come on. We get nothing else? Is that it? Maybe no more blocks. All right, well, that was that. Let's come out here and wrap this thing up. Well, I did a lot of yakking and stuff on this video. It's a little bit longer than normal. We did get a couple of longer contracts done, so we're just going to kind of wrap it up right here. So, all right, all you space engineers out there, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the video, and please subscribe. That does really help out the channel. Okay, engineers, keep your heads low, keep building away, and don't get shot. And with that, Commander Kingfish is out of here, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.